Welcome back to Adipole Consult TV. I'm Chimude Chukwu. In this video, we'll be letting you in on everything you need to know about the most famous cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. We have a special guest as well. He's someone you should listen to because he has all the knowledge backed up with a wealth of experience. He's a co-founder of CryptoBits Trade and Investment Limited, and they operate under the brand name Crypto. He has over 10 years of experience in trading stocks, futures, and commodity markets, which has helped him transition into managing digital currencies and cryptocurrency for high net worth individuals and firms. CryptoBits Trade and Investment Limited is barely a year old, and they are currently managing digital currencies and assets worth about ₦1 billion. He's someone that is very busy, which makes it very special that he's joining us today. So my advice to you is to pause this video right now, get a pen and a paper, because you're not just going to be learning new things, you're going to be making serious decisions that I believe you should remember later and implement. So without further ado, let's introduce our special guest, Johnson Azeke. Hello, Johnson.
Hi, Jimmy.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
So let's get right into it. What is cryptocurrency?
All right, cryptocurrency, from its name, crypto. Crypto actually uses an encryption techniques. It's a virtual currency that uses peer-to-peer transaction techniques. So it's something that can't be felt physically like the fiat currency. I will call it the currency of the new age. Thank you.
Okay, so that's cryptocurrency in general.
Cryptocurrency in general.
So what is Bitcoin?
All right. Bitcoin is a form of digital currency. It's a form of cryptocurrency, just as we have other cryptocurrencies. All right. But of all the cryptocurrencies that we have, Bitcoin is the dominant coin. More like it's the first to be known. Bitcoin is a medium of exchange. It has a value, and its value depends on the user's acceptance of it as a means of exchange. So Bitcoin also has a store value. You can have a Bitcoin today and hold it, and the value appreciates, right? So you get returns on whatever investment you have on it. Bitcoin can be used as a means of an electronic payment without an intermediary involved in the transaction. Like we have the bank, like financial institutions. So like if I want to send Bitcoin to you, Chinwe, I don't need a bank to approve that transaction. All I just need to log into my blockchain account or my wallet where I have my Bitcoin. And if I want to send you $100 worth of Bitcoin, I just impute it as the amount I want to send and put in my necessary security confirmations. In a second, you have the Bitcoin in your account. And after it goes through the blockchain confirmation, you spend it to do whatever you want to do with it. So that's Bitcoin for you.
Okay, so now it's a store of value and it's a means of exchange generally accepted.
Yes.
And you mentioned that you can use it to buy things and just register your blockchain account. Things like that. So if I want to shop online now, I don't know how many companies accept Bitcoin as a means of exchange that I can, instead of using my card to pay, I can use Bitcoin. Like how many of them are around the world?
All right. So many companies have started adopting Bitcoin as an alternative means of payment. Why? Because it's very cheap. They don't have to pay for Bitcoin transactions. Currently, eBay and Amazon are currently looking at accepting the Bitcoin as means of payment. That's still on the way. And they also, you can search companies that accept payments in Bitcoin. There are a lot of them on the internet. Just the page comes up, this company accepts Bitcoin. Instead of having to expose your card or pass through your credit card charges, you can just make easy and cheap transfer from your Bitcoin wallet. There are a lot of them out there. Like Square, a popular US company, have already integrated Bitcoin into their payment system where their clients can buy and sell Bitcoin and also make payment through Bitcoin.
Most people in Nigeria see Bitcoin as an illegal stuff because it's mostly connected to illegal dealings. A good example was MMM. Establish the distinction between Bitcoin as a means of payment and those illegal transactions like Ponzi scheme and stuff.
All right, fine. Why most Ponzi scheme adopt the Bitcoin system into their scheme? Because it has no regulatory interference. It's simply a peer-to-peer transaction. No government can interfere in how they move money, how they go about their transactions. That's why most of these Ponzi schemes adopted Bitcoin as their means of internal currency. Well, it's actually so unfortunate that Nigerians attribute Ponzi scheme to Bitcoin. I think they need to understand that Bitcoin itself is not a Ponzi scheme. It's actually a currency. It's a digital asset that one can acquire, that one can own, all right, and sell it for a future value. So that's two different things. You cannot mingle them together, right? It's just that this scheme use Bitcoin as their internal currency of the system. It's not as if they generated or originated Bitcoin. Bitcoin had been there even before they came.
Okay. So what you've explained now is that Bitcoin is like using the dollars. Like dollars is not a company, it's not a business.
Yes.
But Ponzi schemes and those dealings,
Yes.
they are businesses.
They are businesses.
And they just use those currencies,
Yes.
those digital currencies to make their transactions.
To make their transactions, to take off government's interference
Yeah.
into their transactions.
Yeah.
All right. So that's why they adopted those systems. Not as
Yeah.
if Bitcoin is itself a bond.
Yeah, and that makes Bitcoin decentralized because there's nobody in charge of Bitcoin usage. It's just an open web platform, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bitcoin actually, that's the most interesting thing about Bitcoin. It's decentralization. There is no central body that is in full control of Bitcoin.
Which makes it even more authentic.
Makes it more authentic, more transparent. I cannot come and manipulate Bitcoin price because I own it, or the government cannot manipulate the price of Bitcoin because they own it. Bitcoin belongs to nobody. It's actually a community on its own, regulated by itself.
And all the users.
And all the users. So the users determines the future of Bitcoin by their general acceptance of it as a payment system.
Okay. Now you've made it really exciting. Like I bet anyone watching would like to know how they can acquire Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But the thing now is, the last time I checked, it was about 18,600. That's really high. I don't know how an average person can afford one Bitcoin. So how can someone that is interested in getting Bitcoin buy it?
All right. Bitcoin currently trading at over $18,000 per Bitcoin. It's still at its infancy stage. With the projection we have as an analyst, by end of next year, we're going to see this coin trading over $50,000 per coin. So, which means even if you're still coming in at this time, you still have enough opportunity to tap into the growth of this digital asset. Why are we so optimistic? We're so optimistic of this projection because of the recent happenings around Bitcoin. You see major exchanges in the US starting to embrace Bitcoin becoming a mainstream asset that those institutional investors are trying to buy into. Like recently in December, the CBOE recently launched Bitcoin trading futures, where institutional investors, hedge fund managers, and those big funds can actually benefit from this, from the volatility of Bitcoin. So through that avenue, more dollars are going to chase this Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is finite, meaning it's limited in supply. It does not.
Like 21 million.
Yeah, about 21 million Bitcoin, and currently we have over 16 point something million that are already mined and in circulation. So the rest are still undergoing mining. So which actually makes it very attractive. And with this development and happenings around Bitcoin, we are so optimistic that as more dollars come into the system to pursue the limited Bitcoin, the price is going to keep going up. Yeah. So acquiring it now, you still have enough opportunity to tap into the growth.
Okay, but when you want to acquire it, do you go with $18,000? To buy it, or like what's the least amount you need to buy into Bitcoin? Can you buy smaller than one Bitcoin? How does it go?
Okay, Bitcoin actually is measured in units of satoshis. All right, you have one Satoshi.
And Satoshi was the founder.
Satoshi Nakamoto. That was actually named after the founder, Satoshi Nakamoto. So just like you have the kobos in the naira, so you have satoshis in Bitcoin.
Okay.
So you can actually buy this Bitcoin in satoshis. It doesn't mean necessarily for you to own Bitcoin you must save to buy one Bitcoin. You can buy it in bits, and there is no restriction to the number of Satoshi that you can buy in Bitcoin. You can buy one Satoshi where you have 0.00001 Bitcoin, however you want it. So you can buy 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 worth of Bitcoin and store it up.
And the good thing is, once you buy it, like, it keeps appreciating.
Yeah, once you buy it, it keeps appreciating.
It sounds like buying land.
Oh wow, yeah, it sounds like buying land, but Bitcoin is more attractive in terms of return compared to land.
Oh, that's really nice.
Thank you.
With my understanding of how Bitcoin works, I believe when you buy in, because it appreciates, let me assume I buy in with like 20,000 naira now, and it appreciates, and I want to pull out like my capital of 20,000. I might get that 20,000 naira out, but the quantity of my Bitcoin reduces. So now, how can someone invest in Bitcoin and make money while retaining their capital? I believe that's what CryptoBit Trade and Investment does.
Yes.
Can you just
All right. As a company, CryptoBit Trade and Investment Limited, we've actually seen a huge opportunity in the Bitcoin investment space. And what we do as a company, we actually invest in Bitcoin on behalf of our clients. We help them increase the number of their Bitcoin. Now, the Bitcoin investment is so interesting, is such that just buying and keeping them, there is an increase in its value. Right? Let's assume you buy a Bitcoin today when the price was trading at around $18,000. And tomorrow you wake up in the morning, you hear on the news that one Bitcoin is trading for around $20,000. Right? You've already made $2,000 profit on your Bitcoin. And remember, if you offload your Bitcoin at that price to take a profit, the number of Bitcoin that you have reduces. And if by tomorrow Bitcoin gets to $30,000, you might want to start saying, oh wow, if I had known, I would have sold that. But now as a company, we now step in. With our trading knowledge, we can actually help the investors increase the number of Bitcoin that he or she has. All right? Yeah, we increase the number of Bitcoin by trading your Bitcoin on the exchange. We buy when it's low and sell when it's high. So with this, we're able to increase the number of Bitcoin you have and give you a return based on what is obtainable as a company and in the market for us. So that's what we do. Meaning, if you're coming to Crypto with one Bitcoin and you sign a 1-year contract, at the end of the year, you're going to have about 1.5 Bitcoin, giving you over 50% return on your Bitcoin. So you can decide, oh, I want to sell off the profit I've made. You still retain the one Bitcoin that you have originally, which must have grown astronomically in returns.
Wow. Bitcoin is like the future.
Yeah.
And it's here with us.
Yeah.
So as an analyst, what do you think the future is?
Like I said earlier on, not everyone in the world knows about Bitcoin. Not even 1% of the world population knows about Bitcoin. And Bitcoin price is simply a function of the global awareness.
Okay.
As more people get to know about Bitcoin, they want to buy it, they want to own it, and that creates more awareness for it, and it affects the price in a positive direction.
Okay.
All right. Now, less than 1% of the world population knows about Bitcoin, and it's already trading at over $18,000.
Yeah.
What will happen if 5% of the world population are already adopting Bitcoin? That's going to possibly impact on the price. What happens when 10% of the world population accept Bitcoin? What happens when 20% of the world population accept Bitcoin? Now, why are we so optimistic that the price of Bitcoin is still at its infancy stage? Because you see, a lot of funds are tied up in stocks, in bonds, in treasury bills, and on all other fixed investments. And investors are beginning to see that they can get a quick return investing in Bitcoin. Hence, from next year, 2018, we're going to see a massive influx of funds from the stock market, from bonds, and from all other treasury bills into Bitcoin.
And we're talking trillions.
We're talking trillions of dollars.
Chasing.
They're going to chase 21 million Bitcoin. And you see, from the economist's point of view, whenever demand exceeds supply, the price always goes up. All right, and Bitcoin is finite, it's limited. So more funds are going to chase it. Bitcoin has to go up for these funds to absorb it. You can imagine $1 trillion chasing Bitcoin.
Yeah.
The impact that's going to be on it. And these people are not buying just to sell up. They are buying to hold because they want to get value for it in the future.
Okay. What do you have to say about people that see it as a bubble? because the price, it has just been appreciating, although
Alright.
there have been corrections, but it's constantly appreciating.
Okay.
And what they describe as a bubble is something that just keeps increasing and increasing, and one day it just goes down. So
Yeah.
do you speculate that maybe one day people will decide, I don't really care about Bitcoin again, so it renders all the things you've acquired useless?
Alright.
Because it happened with the tulip flower that was really
Yeah.
big in the 19th century.
Yeah.
That people acquired it and then all of a sudden everybody lost interest. Do you think that could happen to Bitcoin?
Alright, fine. Well, Bitcoin actually, we first have to understand what it is. Bitcoin is a new wave of a currency that's going to phase out the fiat system of money. A time will come where the euro will be no more, the US dollar will be no more. The naira, people won't be interested in holding physical cash. All right, they just want to have this freedom, or they want to have privacy. Sometimes when you take your credit card to the POS, your bank can decline you access to your phone.
Yeah.
But with Bitcoin, you can't ever be declined. Your transactions always goes through, and people want they want freedom. All right, they want privacy. They want security of their phones. They want to be in control, most importantly. All right, and these are what Bitcoin offers. So why would you think people want to throw this away and go for something else? So which means more people are going to keep embracing this technology. As they keep embracing it, it will continue to positively impact on the price. Now, when people say bubble, 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 they have to understand that Bitcoin actually is not something that has a regulatory control. It is not centralized. It is not controlled from one point. All right, no one controls it. The impact of Bitcoin is dependent on the reflection of the community, on the users. As it expands, the price also will expand. Well, when we say bubble, every asset, tradable asset, do undergo correction over time. That's why you see sometimes the price goes down and at a point it picks up. So the up and down movement in the price of Bitcoin is a function of demand and supply.
Meaning that it's a reliable asset.
It's a reliable asset. All right. There are points in the market where there is an imbalance, a gap between supply and demand. So if the supply at some point is higher than the demand, the price is expected to go down to a level. All right. As from the technical point of view, we call that correction. All right. So correction is a healthy process for every tradable asset to make the price become attractive, so that there can be more people buying it at that point. And at that point of correction, when more funds comes into the system to acquire it at a lower price, the price goes up. So it continues to go up and down. So the good thing is that you don't just wake up and say you want to buy Bitcoin. So you need an expert that will give you an advice when it is okay for you to buy and when it's okay for you to sell.
Okay. Thank you so much. I love your analogy so much. By what you've explained, I understand the transition of currencies. Like, we're moving on to the next stage, which is digital currency. And luckily for us, Bitcoin is like the first that's been generally accepted. And there are so many coins out there, like Ethereum, altcoins, one coin stuff. So you've heard it from the man himself. This is the new world we're in. We're no more exchanging with gold. We're no more exchanging with calories. We're moving from paper currency to digital currency. So my advice is buying. Don't you think? Like, they should buy in, and even better, start trading with your coin.
You can buy your coin, buy it and own it, and not just buying it. You can actually trade with it. If you don't know how to trade, then you can consult us. All right, we can teach you if you want to trade on your own. If you just want to be an investor who want to, I have some number of Bitcoin, take it, trade with it, give me whatever return you say it you will give in at the end of the month. Let my Bitcoin just be with you. So that's that.
It's a lot better, because as we mentioned earlier, if you say let you buy it and do the math yourself, as you're selling, the quantity of your Bitcoin will be reducing. But when you hand it over to the experts, your capital remains for you and you enjoy the interest that comes with it. Thank you so much, Mr. Johnson.
You're welcome.
Really nice to have you. Guys, say thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
All right, thank you.
That's all.
That's all we have for you in this video. I hope you found it really useful. For everything we've discussed in the video, you can contact us and we'll help you reach out to CryptoBits Trade and Investment Limited. If you like this video and want to see more of it, all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and you get updates whenever we upload new videos. You can also visit our website www.wenthepoletconsult.com. Go straight to our business library for videos and templates that can help you build a strong business and life. While you're there, join our Facebook community, Applied Business Community, and you'll be free to share your personal opinions and views and make inquiries about the things we discuss in our videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you in our next video.